Hey,
Ah,
reviews.
back up in here, yo.
Terminator, Dark Fate.
Fate.
How does it end? What fate do they choose? What fate chooses them? Ian, spill the beans.
Arnold dies again.
Arnold dies again. Okay. Arnold dies again. That was kind of expected.
Sacrificing himself to blow up the new Terminator.
Didn't see that coming.
No, he just kind of did the same thing to
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, the floor is yours pretty much because I have no idea how it ends. So let us know.
The whole thing goes into one, you're trying to figure out why Arnold is there in the first place because in Terminator 2, basically just dipped himself in molten hot lava, and died. So he's back, but it's not that same Terminator. So basically, Skynet sent multiple Terminators to kill John Connor.
Ah, okay. So the one that befriends John Connor is the one that we saw
Die.
in Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Yes.
Get melted in with the metal as well as the two chips and the hand that they throw into the melting plant basically, or the iron plant basically.
Yes.
Okay, and then this is another John Connor killer Terminator.
Yes.
That did not befriend him.
Yes. They said. Well, it basically
So
says,
was he like this? Was this one trying to kill John Connor?
So they basically sent multiple ones out.
Mm-hmm.
He is not the one that tried to kill John Connor. He is the one that killed John Connor.
So John Connor got smoked.
Yes. So we start at the beginning and here talking about Judgment Day and how she saved the world, and he comes out out of nowhere, Hawaiian shirt on and all, shotgun, double tap John Connor and walks on out.
Now, is it the original actor that plays John Connor?
They kind of CGI'd him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's like, because he's still a kid, so this was right after Judgment Day, so he's a kid.
Right, that's right.
So they basically CGI'd him as like that kid, John Connor. They kind of CGI'd Arnold's a little younger also. So they basically really quickly, he's that scene's not really on that long, and you realize, oh, they just killed John Connor. That's never happened in the future.
Yeah, like as far as we know that he's always alive.
Yeah, so that's why this movie basically wipes all the other movies after 2 away because now John Connor's dead.
Huh.
So they basically go from there, and then you see the new Terminator and one girl come out to basically save our new girl.
Okay, now, so when she says I was her, does that mean that this chick is supposed to have some kid and then like her kid is supposed to lead a rebellion?
So that was Sarah Connor's first thing was like, okay, well you're gonna basically, she's basically gonna give birth to the new person that's gonna save the rebellion and blah blah blah. And they said a couple times, and finally one girl was like, nah, like she doesn't do that. Like she leads the rebellion. So you come to find out that the girl that's basically been enhanced. So she's basically has like robotics in her body.
Oh, just like Grace.
Yeah, Grace. Well, Grace has. This is Grace that's protecting. Grace has been enhanced. Danny has been enhanced. So Grace has basically been enhanced, and you see the fact that like they're basically built to fight Terminators, but in short bursts.
Oh, I see.
So like, if you can't build them quickly, because you'll see at times her body will break down. That she needs like insulin or medicine and things like that. That she can't sustain a long fight with the Terminator.
Okay.
So she's still human. Basically, they tell Danny like, and she keeps so much care for her, and she's like, "Do you know her?" So basically, Danny's the one that sent her on the mission to save herself.
Oh wow.
So she basically. Danny's her commander and the one in charge of resistance, and basically sends her back in time to save her.
Okay.
So that's why she's there to protect her. Basically, commander.
Like, hey, make sure I don't die in the past.
Yes.
So I can keep leading everyone here in the future.
And she even tells her, like, hey, I'm not the same person I was, I am now, I was back then. I wasn't that. I'm, a little more weaker, I guess you would say. And basically, Grace owes her because that he basically saves her life. So she's a kid and she's scrambling, and basically a group of people are about to come and basically kill her for resources. She shows up, disarms everyone, beats them down, and was like, "Hey, we can't keep fighting each other because either way, these machines are gonna kill us. So either we band together or we all die."
I see.
So that's how she gets into the army, and you kind of see throughout the movie she has like little flashbacks of her fighting, Grace fighting, and you see like, oh, this is the actual assignment that injures her, and she decides to volunteer for the program to be enhanced.
Okay. So we get that.
So we get that, and then you get the new Terminator, which is cool.
Rev 9.
Rev 9. It's basically part liquid metal, part hard shell. It's like a mixture of the T1000 and T800.
Okay.
And they can basically operate separate from each other.
Okay.
So the hard shell inside and then the liquid side can operate separately.
Probably stronger if they stay together, right?
They're stronger because the liquid metal, like in Judgment Day,
right.
If you get shot, it's a hole. There's no actual hard stuff inside. But if you actually connect it together, then take that hit.
Yeah.
But he uses it sometimes to go, hey, I got 2-on-1 advantage if he breaks up and does certain things around that. So I see how the tactical advantage of basically going liquid and letting the hard shell come around. Or he'll do some things where the hard shell will drive and then he'll come out and then do something else.
Okay, that's one thing we see in the trailer.
And I see in the trailer where the hard shell's driving and the liquid part comes out. And I was like, well, I'm going to attack. And the one's still in pursuit.
I see, okay.
Which is they don't really explain kind of how it all really works. I mean, you just kind of assume and pick up that this is what it is. Don't really go into detail of like, oh, this is how the new Terminator works, and they have ideas like in Judgment Day where the T800 knows how the liquid metal one is and how it works and what it's weak against. Grace kind of knows what does damage to it, but they're kind of like, you can't really beat it, so we all just run from it.
I see.
And that's kind of their premise. Like, yeah, we can fight it a little bit, but at the end of the day, like, we haven't been able to take this bad boy down, so we got to go.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how Sarah Connor shows up, and it's just like on the bridge in that scene in the trailer where she just comes up with a rocket launcher, hits the hard shell, shooting the liquid tail off, and it's just like, I'll be back. And she's like, I'll be back, and then basically as she goes away, they steal her car. So they don't wait for her, they steal her car.
Oh, wow. Because
they need to go get her insulin and help her out, and she's driving away. And then she shows up like, so I save you guys, and you steal my vehicle? Okay.
Ha! Right? Probably not too happy about that.
Yeah. But basically trying to figure out who she is, and that's kind of why Sarah Connor feels like, oh, you're basically like me, you're going to give birth to it, and you're going to find out that, no, she doesn't give birth, that, she's the one that actually she's the leader.
Okay. So that's technically the end of the film. That's all divulged.
Well, that's divulged in the middle, kind of like she's going to be the leader. So it's a flashback. You find out before they even meet Arnold that she's going to be the leader.
Okay. So then how does it actually end? Like, what's the ending?
The ending itself, they basically get to a battle with Rev 9. They basically go, well, we're going to use her for bait. It's always going to come for her. So we put her out there for bait. We have weapons, we have guns. Originally supposed to be an EMP, but that gets destroyed in the plane crash scene that you see in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
But it ends up in a dam. They don't really say the location. It's probably Hoover, based on the look. They're in the Southwest, so.
Probably Nevada.
Yeah, probably Nevada. They basically fight this dam. So they basically all come together and go, okay, well, we have to fight us against him. They basically get worked by it repeatedly. They kind of get a little upper hand just because they outnumber, the Rev 9. So it kind of splits, and they kind of like handle the liquid and they handle the metal part. So they kind of go back and forth until they finally just throw it into a turbine.
Oh, okay.
Which damages its structure. It basically almost kills off the liquid part. It can't really mold it. It kind of
put itself together technically.
Put itself together. So the liquid part's kind of messed up. It messed up its functions. It's not really good. Grace said the only thing that can destroy it is in me, which is her power source for her enhancements. So she gets critically wounded. Tells her hey, I was part of this mission. I was here for this. Takes a little like a core of her power out. So Danny's like, okay, I'm gonna go shove it in here, and Terminator's like, no, you're not. I'm still gonna kill you. And Arnold's been jacked up, but Sarah Connor's like, you better wake up. You better wake up and help this girl. So finally he wakes up, grabs it, tosses it over the edge of the little damn thing, jumps in, slams the little thing in his face, and it's like trying to get out. He's like, nope, nope, you're gonna stay here. And it basically explodes and kills both of them.
Ah, I see.
He's like, no, you're gonna die, and I'm gonna sit here and wait for you to die.
I see.
So that's kind of how it is, but you can see how the Terminator, it's weird because after he kills John, he has no missions.
No purpose.
No purpose.
He's like, I was built to kill John Connor.
Yeah,
and so now he's dead.
Now he's dead, so he gets a family. He has a wife and a kid.
That makes sense. You are a murderous robot with only one thing on your mind. You've completed the task. Now you're going to retire.
Now you retire with a wife and kids.
Does he move to Florida?
He's in Texas.
Close enough.
And his job is he basically sells drapes to families.
Interesting.
With kids. And does babies' rooms.
His specialty.
And uses his algorithm to find the right drapes
wow.
that would actually fit the room and go, this is why you need to have this.
Wow.
Yeah. It's actually a funny scene when you see like his family interaction with like him just having a normal life. And Sarah Connor's like, you killed my son. So at the end of all of this, I gotta kill you. Because we're never gonna be square. And he's like, well, my name's Carl. Not calling you that. Ever.
My name's Carl.
Yeah, so that kind of like, and then you find out that Sarah Connor's been killing Terminators since John died.
Oh, wow.
So she's been getting the text messages and things on the phone like, hey, at this date and time, go to this coordinates. And she goes to the coordinates, portal opens up, Terminator. She handles it. And that's kind of what they kept asking, like, well, how the hell did you know to be on the bridge? Got a text message, date and time, via these coordinates. And they couldn't figure out, like, who kept, and every text message said, for John. For John. And she's like, who's sending you these coordinates? So they hacked the phone, and Grace is like, wait a minute, these coordinates are written on my body. That if I ever get in trouble with my mission, I need to go to these coordinates. Same thing. It's Arnold. Or it's the T-800. And basically, once he said, once I got a family, I understood the loss that he did to Sarah Connor. And he was trying to, I guess, make amends.
Oh.
For the loss that he gave, and so that's why he kept giving her something to do, because whatever portal.
Okay, so here's my thing on that. Doesn't that kind of create like a little bit of a time paradox? So like, is he technically in the future as well?
So no. So what happens is,
because then that means if Danny is the one that wrote that on her, wrote it on Grace in the future, that means that Danny knew about him.
Well, she does, because she goes there. They all go there. They all go there and meet him.
But I'm saying in the future though.
Yes, because she has to live and go into the future.
Yeah.
But the reason why he knows the location of the Terminators is every time the portal opens, he connects to Skynet.
Ah.
So he knows their plans of what they're going to do. So that's why he's able to sit there and go, hey, it's going to drop out. Blah, blah, blah.
So Skynet is still a thing in
well,
the
not
future.
Skynet. Take it back. It's not Skynet. Skynet is dead. Sarah Connor actually kills Skynet when they basically... in Judgment Day. It's not called Skynet anymore. It's Legion.
Legion, okay.
So Skynet, basically, the company that would be Skynet, folded after they basically destroyed all the stuff in Terminator and Judgment Day. So another company came along and decided, let's make an AI. And it's not the same way that happened in Judgment Day, where they basically said, oh, it was a nuke. They basically killed a bunch of nukes that killed most of everybody and they attacked. They went, no, they just shut down everything. So they shut down all power, things like that. So the first day was they shut down all power, freaked everybody out, they didn't know what's going on. Then they launched they said attacks, but they didn't do nukes. They just attacked like missiles and wars and things like that. They didn't actually nuke everybody. So it's sort of a different plan of attack as opposed to what Skynet did. Legion did something different.
I see. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so, I mean, pretty much covered most of it. I mean, there's a bunch of action scenes in between with them on the plane and trying to get away, and army bases, and them trying to cross the border, because the movies, they start off in Mexico. so crossing the border to the U.S. and then being caught and detained in the U.S. detention center is kind of hilariousness in itself. Where John and basically people on the Mexico side is like, you're trying to get Grace and Sarah Connor, like you want to smuggle two white ladies across the border
to Mexico,
from Mexico to the U.S. What they do? Everyone's like, what they do? Because like you're trying to smuggle them across, like what they do?
So they're trying to get them into Mexico,
into the U.S. So they're in Mexico, so they're
trying to get them back to the U.S.
To the U.S. because they're trying to get the coordinates where Arnold is, which it's in Texas. And they start off in Mexico.
Okay.
So it's kind of hilarious. They go across, and then the border patrol realizes who Sarah Connor is, and they're like, "Oh, you're famous. You don't need to be out here with the common folk. We need to get you your own personal area." And then that's where the Rev 9 comes in, because he hacks into the system. So just like her and Grace can just basically touch a computer and have access to it. So he's controlling the drones from the border patrol.
Oh, okay.
And he's going in using all like their equipment
against them.
So he can basically, the border patrol catches them, and the first thing he's like, oh, she's right there. I crashed this drone into her. Like, screw it, crash the drone. So that's what his whole thing is, like anything technology based, he can just hack in and
kind of take control.
And take control of it. But Grace can kind of do it as a kind of small segments. Very lower level, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they did a good job like integrating technology and stuff like that with it.
Anything else you want to share?
I think I pretty much covered it all without going through all the action scenes.
Okay, awesome. Well, that was How Does It End? And lots of spoilers of Terminator, Dark Fate. Bum, bum, bum. So thank you everyone once again for liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel. We appreciate the love.
Share it to everybody.
Everybody.
Before you get terminated.
Dun, dun, dun. Dave probably won't be back because supposedly it's not doing too well in the box office.
I mean, they get terminated.
Oh, end credits? Are there any end credits?
No. I actually stayed to try and see there's no after the credits.
No end credits. Hashtag made it to the end of the video if you did.
Made it to the end.
We'll see you on the next one.
Time.
Peace.